It's your girl, the Grown Woman Gamer, and today I'm coming at you to talk about Patrick Beverley. Before I get into that, you know what you need to do. Subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and comment whether you agree with me or not. So let's jump right into it. Patrick Beverley has been featured on a variety of ESPN shows where he's had a platform to offer his opinion on a wide range of subjects. On the first day that he was on there, it was the day after that abysmal loss by the Phoenix Suns to the Dallas Mavericks. And Patrick Beverley took that opportunity to trash Chris Paul. Take a listen.
CP3, is he going to be a Hall of Fame? No question about it.
Yeah.
Right? No question about it. Do guys in the NBA go to sleep early the night before playing the Phoenix Suns? Hell no. No.
You mean as a team, or would you talk about Chris Paul individually?
Chris Paul individual.
Okay.
No. I'm going to Steak 44 over there in Phoenix. I'm going to have me a nice little wine, probably sweat it out, and but the pregame shoot around and get ready for Chris Paul. Steph Curry, I'm going to bed at 8 o'clock. Mom, don't call me. My girl, don't call me. I'm locked in right now. It's two different monsters. That's all.
Yeah, well, listen, you're supposed to do it. Where somebody like Steph Curry, you blink and he might drop 10 threes on you. You blink and he might drop 50 on you. That got Luka, for example. Luka with the 27 in the first half. Luka can drop 50 on you. Those are the dudes that you lose sleep over.
Man, ain't nobody worried about Chris Paul when he play Phoenix Suns. Nobody in the NBA.
Well, what did I just say, though?
And I'm just letting you know how NBA players feel and think.
I believe you, but what I'm saying
He's
is...
finessed the game to a point where he gets all the petty calls, all the swipe throughs at the end. I mean, this guy is out, man. We gonna be honest? We want to be really honest?
Yes.
He should have fouled out. He should have fouled out. The last game, too. You see the replay against Brunson, hit him on the shoulder, hit him in the mouth, ref don't call anything. If that's me, review it. Flagrant one. If that's him, they don't call it. So let's not get it twisted, man. He should have fouled out. He can't guard. He literally can't guard.
He can't guard.
Yeah.
He can't. Chris Paul can't guard anybody? Is that what you say?
Did you see that? No, he can't. Everyone knows that.
Excuse me. No.
So you heard from Patrick Beverley. We all know, if you follow basketball, that Patrick Beverley is not a fan of Chris Paul. I don't know if Chris Paul has ever directly addressed Patrick Beverley, even after he shoved him. This was after Chris Paul had dropped 41 on Patrick Beverley. But let me just say this. I am not a fan of Patrick Beverley. I've been vocal about that. My biggest pet peeve, or my biggest issue with Pat Bev, is that I've seen him do things to players that would potentially injure them. And I really do not like this part of basketball. There is so much money on the line for these guys. Their families are reliant upon their income. And for a player like Pat Bev, who has never been a standout in any way, shape, or form, with the exception of being a above average defender, to literally be getting paid to be a dirty worker consistently every year, he does little things that could potentially injure players, and then he has this dumb look on his face after he does it. It bothers me to no end. And I've seen him do it repetitively. And if you need proof, take a look. So how much more evidence do you need to see that Patrick Beverley is a runt who relies on dirty plays in order to be impactful on the defensive end? Don't get me wrong. He plays with a lot of effort, a lot of energy, and his teammates claim that they appreciate what he's able to do. And I've watched basketball long enough to know that there will always be dirty workers. Players whose job it is to make life hard for the star players on the other team. But what part of the game is what we just witnessed? I know Patrick Beverley talked about going all the way back to high school and Chris Paul and him having some type of rivalry based on something that happened in a LeBron James camp. Bro, Chris Paul is not in a rivalry with you. Yes, he knows that when he's playing against you, he's got a target on his back because you have something to prove, because you're obsessed with him, because you're not him. Beverley will never, ever in his life be the point guard that Chris Paul is. Yes, Chris Paul was horrible in that Dallas Mavericks series, especially in the last 5 games. It would be complete and total BS if I got on this mic and I pretended like Chris Paul doesn't deserve some criticism, maybe even a little slander after what happened in that series. He disappeared. I even made a video about it where I was like, it seemed like it was a completely different player than the player we saw in the New Orleans series and the player that we've seen throughout his career. And it's a fact that Chris Paul has had opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to put himself in a position to win a championship and has dropped the ball repetitively. Yes, all of that is true, and we can be constructive and critical of the man as a player. But Patrick Beverley does not have enough of a resume to challenge the greatness of Chris Paul. Chris Paul has handed him some games when he was defending, particularly the game where he pushed him in the back, and again he dropped 41 on Pat Bev. So I just don't understand how he could get on television and take his opportunity to audition as a potential sports analyst and just be petty, be living in the past, and frankly, he looks jealous. He talked about how Chris Paul's the it guy, he's the president, he comes across as more palatable to the mainstream, I'll leave it at that, and that people let Chris Paul get away with things that Patrick Beverley doesn't get away with, maybe because of how he looked or how he presents himself. And I'm not going to be completely dismissive of that. It's true. Chris Paul is not the cleanest of players. He's done some dirty things. You can look it up. Look it up online, little kind of ticky-tack things that Chris Paul does, but none of it has been to the degree that Patrick Beverley has gone. Patrick Beverley literally has done things that have injured people in ways that could change the trajectory of their career. There is no excuse and no apologizing for that when you do it over and over and over again. But this is a testament to how sports analysis is going. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I think it's entertaining, and clearly the numbers show that. People prefer watching Patrick Beverley get up there and talk down on Chris Paul and make claims or give insights about the James Harden situation that make absolutely no sense whatsoever, than to hear someone like, respectfully, a Chris Broussard give you a little bit more researched analysis. And that's the age that we live in. People don't want to watch the news. They want to be entertained. And I get that fully. So maybe he did exactly what the situation calls for. But even with that said, it's super disrespectful. He's still a player in the NBA. I remember watching a lot of footage of interviews and people's reactions after Kobe Bryant passed away. I watched Reggie Miller, who is a player who carries himself in a way that I truly respect. He is a class act. He has so much dignity. And even though he can be truthful and critical of players, he doesn't cross the line into disrespect. And you can tell when he talks that he really wants to see people be great, do well, improve. And it's definitely coming from a place of love and of genuine desire to see people excel and do well. He talked about the NBA as a fraternity, a brotherhood of men who hold each other accountable, help each other, support each other, inspire each other. I'm not going to bring race into this too much, but it is a fraternity of largely Black men. Of course, there are other races represented in the NBA, but the NBA is full of Black men from all walks of life and other men from different walks of life who are building brands, building businesses, creating opportunities for themselves and their families. Patrick Beverley going on that platform and talking about Chris Paul, a man who literally just turned 37, who has done so much for the NBA, for the game of basketball, regardless of how he played in that one series, and regardless of the missteps that he's had along the way in the postseason, which, like I said, he deserves criticism for. The opportunity that he had to kind of get his licks in for something that happened in high school, it's immature, it was disrespectful, but it was right in line with the way he's played throughout his career. And like I said, I don't respect him as a player, because when I see any player, that's Zaza Pachulia, that could be Patrick Beverley, that is willing to injure other players in order to get a competitive edge, I think that that's cowardly. I think it's indicative of your inability to actually play at a high level, because Michael Jordan, he didn't have to try to hurt somebody. He didn't go out to hurt Isaiah Thomas or hurt Magic Johnson or hurt John Stockton. he didn't have to do all of that in order to win. He said, I'm gonna grab this rock and I'm gonna put it in the hoop and I'm gonna do my thing. And all of you are gonna sit back with your mouth open in awe. The bottom line is that Patrick Beverley doesn't have the ability to do that. He never has. He's averaged less than 10 points a game for his entire career. He's lucky when the shot goes in. Anytime Patrick Beverley takes a shot, look at that man's face. He doesn't know if it's going in or not. That's a fact. Chris Paul is thorough with the rock. Whether he's won or not, he's shown that. He's proved that over the course of over or darn near 2 decades. So he doesn't even deserve to speak on this man. That's a fact. If he wants to use his platform in this way, so be it. But he lost the tiny little bit of respect that I have for him. And I know a lot of people are looking at him sideways. And next year, I hope that some of these seasoned players who've been in the league for a long time, and even some of the younger ones, show him just how much of a runt he truly is. So this is what I have to say. You know, normally I don't go off into the negative, but this is a player who I've already been vocal about that I don't like for the reason that I articulated in this video. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. I'm sure some people think it's entertaining. Whatever you think, feel free to leave it in the comment section, whether you agree with me or not. Hit that notification bell, comment, subscribe to the channel, follow your girl on Twitch, and I will be back soon with more fire commentary, and I'm out.